Welcome, folks. I am Jaby Koay, joined by JULES DRAYER, and we have a new Breath of the Wild trailer for the new game. I can't even speak. So it's a sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, first look trailer from Nintendo, and man, they're just dropping all the Zeldas today.
Yeah, they
Okay,
are.
I mean, we already knew about Link's Awakening, the update, but now Breath of the Wild. Okay, let's check this out.
They're throwing it up on us.
Oh my god.
WoW is now in development.
That is super cool.
Yeah, that was
We'll get to see a game in about 5 years, maybe. Actually, I'm hoping that it's not that far out. What I'm hoping they're doing is they're just using the same game engine that they use for Breath of the Wild so that they can get another adventure out sooner. That's not completely foreign to Nintendo. I mean, they basically did that with Mario Galaxy. They used essentially the same game engine and whatnot, from what I understand, in order to get out another sequel much sooner than later, so you weren't waiting like 5 years. And that's very smart of them to capitalize on that, because I think Breath of the Wild was probably the most, what do you call it? It's the one that I think most people got into, even people who weren't into Zelda. Breath of the Wild is when they jumped on board and they fell in love with the game. I know Angry Joe, that was definitely the case, if I remember correctly, because I think like he said he was never into Zelda, but Breath of the Wild is what got his attention. And so you said you enjoyed Breath of the Wild, but it was like you preferred the more top-down.
Correct.
You know,
correct.
the simple game,
Top-down
or Wind Waker.
Wind Waker.
Yeah.
My favorite. I know it's stereotypical, but my favorite's Ocarina of Time.
Oh, really?
I love that game.
Okay.
Love it.
So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed Breath of the Wild. There were certainly moments that I found very thrilling. What I'm seeing here, I already like it more. This idea that you're actually going to be next to Zelda on this adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully she doesn't get kidnapped and you gotta
Yeah.
save her again.
Probably.
I like the idea that maybe there's a companion element to the game. I mean, whether it's a single player thing, which is most likely the case, or you can actually participate with someone else and there's some sort of co-op element there. Like, I would totally be down if Nintendo's still in development and they're listening to people's ideas. Like, I would totally be down to buy, like, well, my mom's got a Switch, like I said in the last video, right? And so I would love this idea of being able to have 2 copies of the sequel to Breath of the Wild, and one person can be Zelda and one person can be Link, and you've got this kind of interaction going on. You help each other out. Can you imagine couch co-op like that? Like, that's one of the things that actually excited me most about the Nintendo Switch, is the possibility of, like, initially the possibility of first-person shooters, and you each have your own private screen so that you can't be looking at the TV on split screen and see what the other person's doing.
Yeah.
Like, the idea, the possibility of having an interactive world couch co-op would be the coolest thing. I know that's most likely they're not going to do that, but if they're taking ideas, here's a free one, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like, that
You're
would
welcome.
be, yeah, that'd be super awesome. I already like the graphics and the design of Breath of the Wild, the world that they created for Link there. And so to just reuse that, totally for that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a really expensive DLC.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You know.
No, this trailer did the right thing, and it got you excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Built suspense.
Exactly.
It's good.
That wide shot of when you hear the rumble and the birds fly off.
Yeah.
That shit was cinematic.
Yeah.
That was so cinematic.
A single tear.
Yeah, you know, because it's not like Nintendo to do things like that in their cinematics, and it's like now they're progressing towards a more mature cinematic feel, I guess. Because, you know, normally what I'm used to, I guess, is like it's a different tone entirely, but it's all the Mario cinematics that are really goofy and outlandish. But even with Zelda, like if you go back and play Skyward Sword, it's so goofy so many times, and then like the cutscenes and whatnot. Whereas That felt like...
Yeah, it just doesn't seem... This seems like it's going to be real life, like real situation kind of thing, you know?
Well, yeah. In the sense of like Lord of the Rings.
Yes, correct. Like
Yeah.
you're actually, like there's going to be some fear put into you a little bit more rather than like whimsical, than a whimsical feel.
Or somewhere in between, you know?
Yeah, maybe just a little bit in between, going back and forth. You never know.
I wonder if there's going to be some borrowing from Skyward Sword in telling the story, because it looked like the castle was being,
Yeah.
what do you call that? Lifted out of the ground?
Yeah.
So I was looking for a fancy word, but...
Lifted is good. I think that works.
Yeah. It's not very fancy, but I suppose it communicates the idea. I like big English words.
Me too.
So,
Don't know a lot of them.
Yeah. I was gonna say excavated, but that doesn't sound right. So yeah, it's lifted out of the ground. I'm wondering like what that means. If there's a whole adventure within the castle, what the hell's going on?
Yeah,
Like, is this even part of the game? Because like I remember the very first trailer we saw for Breath of the Wild was Link in his blue outfit, and he was shooting an arrow at something or another. And that wasn't even, I don't even think that was part of the game. That was just to kind of showcase what...
Give you the feel.
Yeah, give you the feel of what's to come. Kind of like a Pixar trailer. Just show you sort of the tone of the thing.
Why am I going to cry this time?
Yeah, exactly.
What's...
Like, if you go back and look at the very first Incredibles trailer, it's Mr. Incredible trying to get his pants on, and his belt, like,
see,
shoots
I
up.
love that.
That was never in the movie.
Yeah.
And so this may not be part of the game at all, but it just gives you a sense as to what's coming. But I would love it if it was. You know, like, you're going into the dungeon because there's something's amiss in the dungeon below. What is that? Who was there? What, like, is it related to Ganon at all? Like, you know, there's so many questions brewing now, man. I want to know what's up. Who is that guy?
I want to smoke and
Why is
play
he
this
there?
game, man.
Maybe it's Zelda's dad, and it's some kind of like...
Zelda's dad left a long time ago.
Yeah.
He gone.
He's got some, what is it called? Unfinished business.
Yes.
Unresolved issues.
Yes.
Or maybe he's trying to communicate something. I'm just borrowing from...
Who knows?
It's Wind Waker, you know?
Yeah.
All that underground stuff. With
Yes.
the king and whatnot.
Yes.
Epic ending. Most epic ending ever. I remember in Breath of the Wild, the castle was kind of taken over by like this dark magic that Ganon was enforcing and whatnot. And maybe there's something there where it's this like leftover thing that wasn't quite taken care of.
Got it.
That you still have... That's why they're going down into the dungeon to get that out and erase it.
Yeah.
But things go awry. What's curious to me is that it's just Link and Zelda. Like she's the princess of the land, and she doesn't have troops, soldiers, no one's left.
Right.
It's just them two. I mean, Link is obviously very capable. He saved the world like 25 times. But you'd think
she'd have a couple security guards around her.
a couple of people.
Man, maybe
Just a few. I like maybe a Jackie Chan or two. Someone to help with the situation.
Yeah.
You know? Just in case. Maybe a Samurai Jack. Someone. You know? Aang. From
Aang.
Last Airbender.
Yes.
Somebody. I'm just, being foolish.
that would
Obviously,
blow my mind if Aang was in this. I would...
Obviously, I'm being silly, but like I'm just saying, like it would be. I'm wondering why there weren't more with her. Maybe they didn't think it was anything. Hey, Link, there's this thing. You want to go check it out? Sure, Zelda. He didn't say because he doesn't speak.
Yeah.
And then they go down, and there's this thing that's still left over from the first adventure. That's actually interesting. You know, we didn't quite get it all.
Yeah.
It's like a cockroach.
It'll keep growing too. Gotta get rid of it fast.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's dangerous. I wonder if you get to carry over any of the DLC that you bought for Breath of the Wild, because there is a DLC where you can ride. I don't think I bought it, so I can't remember. But I think there's a DLC where you can ride a motorcycle in Breath of the Wild.
What?
Can you imagine like
That would be...
riding a motorcycle around the castle?
My mind would be blown.
How dope would that be? Just create like these kind of Grand Theft Auto stunt things. It's silly.
That sounds like a good time.
I mean, it would be great if they had that element to it, wouldn't it? No one would be mad at that. No one would be mad at like.
I feel like it's a little out of place.
Stunt points.
Like,
Get free potatoes every time you do a good stunt.
a drone just comes and picks them up.
Yeah. Oh, like not Game of Thrones.
Like Game of Thrones.
Hunger Games. Hunger Games is what I was thinking.
Yeah, like Hunger Games.
Or it just drops off. No, but like in Breath of the Wild, cooking is a big element of it. And what if you got like free good food every time you did a good stunt? Like it just popped up in front of you.
Yeah.
Go cook that.
I wish that would happen in everyday life. Like I just did a parkour stunt, and it's like, here is a chicken taco from Taco Bell.
One thing they need to add in is when you cook something raw or bad or nasty, you get sick and you got to go find medicine. Because there was a whole, like, the cooking element was that was a big part of Breath of the Wild, is making food, making potions, making stuff that was yummy and whatnot. And I know Achara loves all that stuff. I hated the cooking. I personally despised it.
Are you a bad cook?
I just didn't like the process of having to collect food and whatever. I just wanted to, like, slash things.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say was, if they're going to bring back the cooking, they need to bring in some, more elements of, like, maybe you get sick and throw up. And, like, what does that look like in a Zelda game?
Yeah.
Everyone wants to see that. If you look at all the forums, if you look at reddit.com and anything related to Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel, everyone is just, like, imploring Nintendo to create, the vomit factor for when you get sick. It's a thing. Not really. I just thought that'd be interesting.
It was all pretty vague.
On purpose.
Yeah, well, yeah.
In case they abandon it and they're like, yes, psych, just kidding.
We don't want to kill him off.
This is not what's happening here.
Yeah.
It was deliberately vague, but it certainly gets you, like, super pumped.
Yeah.
I just hope that it's not like Metroid, where it's just this thing where it's like, hey, we're doing this, and then it's so long before it comes out. I feel like as soon as Breath of the Wild done, they must have gone into production for its sequel, because they had to know how popular it was going to be. They had to know that it's just the sheer vastness of it. I remember Shigeru Miyamoto talking about it, and, like, how excited he was that anywhere you look in the game, you can go there. It's like, pretty much, that's not exactly true.
Yeah.
But mostly true. Because I did find, like, the walls of the game, like, you go beyond this point, you die. Like, I tried to fly with the thing beyond and just to see what. Yeah, exactly.
I'm interested. What are these little green swirly things going on here? It looks a little weird. Looks a little weird to me. I don't really know what it means.
It's just the magical element, It's the sorceress element.
It is a magical element.
Yeah.
Yep.
You guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Be sure to check out Jules on the social media. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out our other reactions, reviews, short films, vlogs, interviews. I'm Jaby Koay. This is
Jules.
Peace out.